Uber is finally responding to AB5, and drivers, for the most part, should be happy. They should also be cautious because if AB5 were to ever go away, something tells me these things that they are trying would definitely go along with it. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. If this is your first time here and you happen to like videos like this, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell notification for, well, notifications of new videos. We upload on a near daily basis. We do daily news videos, live streams, premieres, and you will want to be notified of all these things for gig economy, app technology, and streaming wars. But today we're talking about Uber. We might be talking about Uber quite a bit over the next few days because AB5, the controversial, well, I shouldn't be doing this because it actually is controversial. It's even affecting me personally on some level, was signed into law. It took effect on January 1st, and people were wondering what Uber would actually look like. Now, one of the things they did do is they and Postmates have sued California. They are suing it for being unconstitutional. However, they might still have to, go along with it to a certain extent, even though they are suing it. I don't know how many people here have watched Who Killed the Electric Car. Fascinating documentary. So is the sequel, Revenge of the Electric Car. And when auto manufacturers were faced with a law that said that they had to reduce car emissions by so much by a certain year, they could do one of two things, as was so rightfully pointed out. They could either comply with the new law, or they could fight it. And in the end, they decided to do both. They would make their electric cars, but they would fight tooth and nail to have the gas restrictions, the emission restrictions, removed. I don't want to tell you how that works out because it's a really good movie and you should watch it, but I think you have to rent it on DVD through Netflix. I don't think you can stream it anywhere. So hooray for DVD, right? Anyway, let's look at the San Francisco Chronicle because this kind of highlights, I think, a very similar marketing strategy with Uber. Uber makes major changes to California rides as gig work law takes effect. So, Uber rides are changing in California for both drivers and passengers as the ride-hailing company works to strengthen its defense against AB5, the new gig work law that makes it harder for companies to claim that workers are independent contractors rather than employees. And here's the thing, that key word should be highlighted here. I don't know if you can actually highlight it. Sorry. Accidentally clicked that link. But the key word is harder. Harder. Yeah, see, I'm not really doing that very well. So it's not impossible. Uber and Lyft can still have you as independent contractors. They just have to give up a lot of their freedoms, which I didn't think they would want to do. And they probably don't want to do it, but it looks like they're doing it. So, on Wednesday morning, Uber emailed 150,000 California drivers and millions of California passengers to alert them to the overhauls. The company is giving drivers more control over their rides and making fares more transparent, which could mean passengers find that some types of trips get rejected more frequently. It's probably going to happen. The changes seek to establish that drivers are running independent businesses because AB5 offers some exemptions for business to business. Uber explained the changes as due to new state laws and letter to riders that include a warning that those laws could hurt them. Because again, they want to fight this. They totally want to take these things away. All the things that we're going to be talking about, this is positive for the most part if you are a driver. If you're a rider, not so much. And if you're Uber, it is definitely not working to your advantage. So you want to get rid of this as fast as possible. And they will do little tricks like this to ensure that the public is there. And here's the thing. One of the things that they're saying, they're highlighting due to new state laws because they're going to try to get this on the ballot to get it overturned. And so they are planting the seeds of doubt already. Trust me, Uber is not going to let this one slide. They will do what they can to reverse this. Quote, these changes may take some getting used to, but our goal is to keep Uber available to as many qualified drivers as possible without restricting the number of drivers who can work at a given time, the company wrote. We want your Uber experience to be excellent, and fewer drivers on the road would mean a more expensive and less reliable service for you. Well, it would definitely be more expensive. I don't know if it'd be less reliable. Maybe you'd have to wait 5 minutes instead of 2. I don't know. All right, here's some of the changes. So CA pricing changes from a set price to an estimated price range. That's one change. And here's another one. For a driver, this is what it now looks like. You will get $13 to $15 for this trip after the 25% service fee, and we talked about the service fee yesterday. I'll reiterate it again here, but here's the thing. 17 minutes, about 2.3 miles. It tells you exactly where you're going, exactly what you're making. I love it. The only thing it doesn't show the photo of the rider. Now, I know there's been arguments made that prevents profiling. In fairness, maybe that's true, but still, I would like to have it, so I'd like to know exactly who it is I'm looking for instead of playing what I call the name game. Now, this 25% service fee, it's not discussed in this article, but we talked about it yesterday. Uber has gone back to 25% only. No more 35%, no more 45%, no more 65%, no more 80% of your fare being taken by Uber because Uber overestimated how much it would cost, and instead of paying you the difference or refunding the rider, they would just keep it for themselves. That scam in California is dead as far as we're concerned. And for the time being, again, this could all be reversed. Also, surge. You will be getting the multiplier again. You will not be getting a flat surge. Now, some people did criticize me because, hey, with short rides, flat surge can be more profitable than the multiplier. And it's true. However, that is why I believe in areas Uber was testing out, hey, if it was a short ride, you were getting a multiplier. If it was a long ride, you were getting the flat surge. Uber was manipulating the surge so that whatever ride you took, they would benefit from it. And this law stops it. I should stop slamming the desk. It is not a good effect anymore. It probably didn't work the first time. Anyway, let's look at the next one. So here's something I think is interesting. Flexible cancellations. Get cancellation fees refunded when you rebook within 15 minutes, limited number of uses, unavailable in your city. Probably because of something to do with AB5. Since you are not an employee of Uber, Uber cannot reasonably expect you to drive to a house and have the ride canceled and not get paid for it. That is what you do to employees. It's not what you do to independent contractors. So Uber in California cannot do that, it appears. So, and, well, here's what the rider app looks like, I guess. So, and as you can, this is what it looks like on the driver's side. No, this is the rider passenger side still. So yeah, it'll tell you. Now this looks pretty familiar. It's not like that didn't change too much. And then we just have pictures of passengers and stuff. So let's continue this article. Uber, which loses money at a rapid clip, is intended on keeping drivers from becoming employees, which could add some $500 million a year to its labor costs, according to an estimate from Barclays. Uber says that drivers being employees would destroy the flexibility that both its business model and its drivers rely on. The company is battling AB5 on multiple fronts. It's collaborating with rival Lyft as well as delivery companies DoorDash, Postmates, and Instacart on a $110 million initiative campaign. So I guess that $20 million is coming from DoorDash. It must be. Or maybe 10 from DoorDash, 10 from Instacart, because this is the first time I've read that they're joining with them. Asking voters to keep their drivers and couriers as independent contractors entitled to some benefits and wage guarantees. And I can tell you already how they're going to be selling this. Look out for the ads. You heard it here first. You're going to start seeing ads that say like, AB5 is bad for the consumer. It means higher fares for you and longer wait times. If AB5 were to continue, Uber and Lyft and Postmates and all these services that you rely on could become obsolete and be forced to shut down. AB5 ensures a lot of money goes to the government with no promise of how that money will be spent. Vote no on AB5. It's going to be something like that. Trust me, I get very deep into the election, so this is how it's going to work. Along with Postmates, it sued California last month, claiming that AB5 is irrational and unconstitutional. No, it's not. It's actually very rational, and it's very constitutional. So, here's what... I believe this is what's her name? Lorena Gonzalez. She says, this is Uber's fallback position, giving drivers more independence so they can be viewed more as separate companies in business-to-business relationship with Uber. Oh, sorry, this is Michelle Miller. The problem is that each individual driver would have to hit all the requirements to qualify for exemption. By the way, one thing that is not brought up in this article, which I think is a major thing, is that Uber now lets riders favorite drivers, which does make it more independent. That means that you now, as an Uber driver in California, can in a sense build your own clientele within the Uber app. So the Uber app has truly become more of a middleman. Now, Uber still needs to do one thing, I think, to really get out of the AB5 test. They have to let the drivers have control over their fares, and they have to have a alternate business and I don't know if food delivery is enough, but like maybe their credit business will work. They have to have an alternate business to show that, transportation is not the only thing they do. Those two things still need to happen for them to get completely around AB5. But hey, that might be a good thing, because here's the thing. Sometimes when the government reaches and they overreach, it's not entirely a bad thing. Companies sometimes just get clever. They have to get smart. And so in this case, they might have to say, hey, we are going to expand our business into new horizons, which might actually be profitable for them. And we are going to give drivers the control they need, which will be more profitable to the drivers. And hey, it would be more profitable for Uber well. So this might actually force Uber into making money. It's amazing how that works sometimes. So AB5 author Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez, Democrat, San Diego, reacting to a Washington Post article, said that Uber had run a secret internal task force to devise ways to shield it from the new law, characterized the company in a tweet as flip-flopping from defiance to, oh, wait, we will change our business model. Yeah, this is what it is. Uber, we want an exception from AB5. We won't follow AB5. AB5 doesn't apply to us. We will exempt ourselves from AB5 initiative. We will sue California AB5. Oh, wait, we will change our business model to try to fit AB5. Hashtag pick a lane. Love it. I love it. That is great. So, here's the thing. I know AB5 is controversial. It's extremely controversial. Some people don't like it. And if you don't like it, I don't want to say you're wrong. For reasons you might have every reason to not like AB5. In fact, I'm going to stress this right now as a freelance journalist who writes freelance articles, usually under a pseudonym, so don't go looking for them. Just to let you know. I do that on purpose because of this YouTube channel. Like, I have to rethink how I do freelance writing. AB5 unfortunately affects it until we can get an exception. I have to look at loopholes. But hey, let's look at these things. Like look, flexible cancellation's gone away. I mean, look, if you're a passenger, that sucks. But if you're a driver, how's that anything but a good thing? Look at all this information. Nothing but good. The fact that Uber can no longer take more than 25% of your fare because, you know what, they can't be jerking around with you on the price. How is that a bad thing? How is any of this a bad thing? So far, the app has had multiple improvements to pay, information, and functionality. And guess what? You can still get on and off whenever you damn well would please. I'm trying to figure out what the problem is at this point. But hey, maybe I'm still missing something. And if I am, you will surely tell me. So please, do so. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. I would like to know what your thoughts are, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.